Hey guys, welcome to Shiva Sai Software Training Institute. In this particular video, we'll be understanding what is deep learning. See, the core aspect of AI, which impacted, many industries in a positive aspect, where kind of automating many of the stuff, right? So the major aspect of this is deep learning. So let's understand what impacted here, which is deep learning, right? So let's understand the components. The how the deep learning is aligned with AI. See, actually, AI, artificial intelligence, is a bigger wing where we have something like machine learning in it. So hope everybody here knows that AI is nothing but machines mimicking the behavior of humans. Now, how it mimics that? By learning, right, from lot of data. So that happens via machine learning. And now we again have a subset within machine learning. So AI has a subset where machine learning is available, and machine learning is again having a subset where deep learning is available. So when we focus on what is deep learning, right? So let's understand that. See, basically deep learning is a type of ML that uses a layered neural network to solve much complex problems like recognizing images, understanding speeches, translations of languages, and much more like this. So I put an analogy here where it's like a child learning by seeing a lot of examples instead of getting exact instructions. The more data it sees, the better it gets, right? So like how the humans learn from experiences, right? So deep learning is a core aspect of AI where it uses neural networks. So let's understand this here. It uses this neural networks to solve multiple complex problems like recognizing images, speech understanding, and much more. So, but understand this, that we should be focusing on, neural network. So understand this now. So let's see that. So basically, there is something like deep learning as we know now. So which uses a neural network. So this is artificial. As a human brain have neural networks, we are talking about deep learning, right? Under AI. So under ML, and ML is under intern under AI, right? So this deep learning uses a neural network where if you see we have something like input layer, hidden layers, and output layer. So let's understand each of this. And moreover here, if you see these ones, right, all these are neurons. As in the human brains we have neurons which exactly perform the actions, right? So in the same way we have neurons here as well. All these are neurons, and if you see every neuron is connected to every other neuron in other layers, right? So let's understand this firstly. Okay, all right. So now when we talk about this neural network, this is actually artificial. Okay, so this is called as artificial neural network. So if you see input layers, what is this? So input layer is nothing but the data grabbed, right, to this particular system. So let me brief you here that, so as told, the complete model now here, this particular displayed diagram is all about how the deep learning have neural network configured within. So this is an artificial neural network. So as I told, we have input layer, hidden layers, and output layer. So let's focus on those firstly. So input layer is the first layer that receives the raw data. Meaning of that is, so we pass the data, right? The data is passed there, right? So somebody should be receiving in the network, right? So that somebody is the input layer. So it is the layer where it receives the raw data. Then we have the hidden layers. These are also called as intermediate layers. So here what happens is, so one or the more layers will be there in between input and output. So why this is necessary is, see, these layers play a crucial role in learning patterns. Patterns in the sense like, for example, when we in the sense like when the during the process of learning, when machines look at a cat image or a dog image, it identifies the pattern. So based on the patterns only, it will get to know, okay, this is a dog and this is a cat, right? So here, in the same way, those are patterns. The ear patterns of a cat differs, the dog patterns differs, okay. So maybe the whiskers differs, right? So it differs. So based on all these aspects, a object is identified here. So learning patterns, extracting multiple features step by step, will be taking place here in the hidden layers, all right, or intermediate layers. And then the output layer, the final layer that gives the exact results. So it produces the prediction whether this is a cat or this is a spam, this is a number, this is a dog, everything as such, all right. Fine. So as told before, so in our artificial neural network ANN, we have these crucials, right? So let me showcase it, right? So these are actually neurons which are used for information processing. All right. Okay. Now we have something like depth and width also here. So let's understand what is depth and what is width. See, depth is number of layers from input to output. You got it, right? So that is depth. So for example, here if you see depth, so this is depth now, okay. So we have actually 5 layers, so the depth will be 5 here, okay. And now width, number of neurons per layer. So if you see here, so if you see this particular hidden layer, so the number of neurons here is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So the depth, the width will be actually, a 7 of the count, right? Okay, so why this is used, if you see, like adding more layers of decision making is required. So because to actually, structure the decision making, be more accuracy, to increase the accuracy of the information, so we need to have these many layers accordingly, right? So that is where the depth is decided. And when we talk about width, like having more brain cells at each layer, this helps for to increase the processing capacity parallelly, right? If I had 2 neurons, right, so we can enable, instead of one, if I have 2 neurons, right, the capacity of processing will be increased, right? So that happens here. Got it? Yeah. And so we are ending this video by understanding what is weight here. See, in neural network, the ANN used in deep learning, each connection, so what is the connection here, that we need to understand, okay? So let me tell you that if you see here, we have the lines like, this is a neuron and this is a neuron and this is a neuron, and consider this is input layer, this is hidden layer. If you see, we have connections like this, right? So, and this have connections like this. See, just observe, this is not actually there, okay? Just observe it. Yeah. So we have one neuron here, this is connected here, this is connected here, this is connected here, right? So for these connections, so we have something like weights assigned. So why weight? So each connection between neurons has a weight. This weight decides how important one neuron's input is to the next neuron's output. So this actually helps in many aspects, right? Meaning of that is, so if I have a neuron here, right, and if I have a neuron, so this is input of this neuron and this is output. This is output, right, for that neuron, correct? So the weight decides. See, even here we have some algorithms which will be internally used by the system, where the input is passed and the output is produced, right? So here the weight decides. Okay, maybe this is one connection, this is one connection. So we have weight of 31 here and we have weight of 35 here, right? The weight decides how important one's neuron input is to the next neuron's output. This is decided by the weight. So why weight is considered much here? So it is actually it categorizes the priority. You got it, right? It categorizes the priority, meaning of that is, higher the weight, the priority will be higher there. So according to that, the workflow continues. Okay, fine. All right, so now when we talk about the applications of deep learning, so healthcare, autonomous vehicles, finance, many of such are available. So see, without deep learning, to be frank, AI cannot, implement many features what we are seeing right today. Okay, fine. And moreover, so we have some tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and many much more, which are helping us to enable the interaction mode and produce a lot of data accordingly, correct? So all these are part of a generative AI which comes in the deep learning. So we will see about Gen AI in another video. Thank you.